Hi guys, it's Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. I'm here in Turin, Italy, and I'm at the Xerjoff flagship store here in the city center. And today I'm going to talk to you about Xerjoff, the fragrances from the collection, and also the exclusive collections, the exclusive fragrances that you can only buy here with the man behind the brand, Sergio Momo. So if you're curious to find out about Xerjoff and all their fragrances and the exclusive fragrances, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. I have Sergio Momo here with me at the Xerjoff flagship store. Thank you for doing the video with me, and thank you for inviting me here.
Well, nice to have you here in Turin.
Thank you. Tell me a little bit about the store before we get started with the fragrances.
Yes, well, it was opened a couple of years ago, less than a couple of years ago, and well, you know that Turin is our city where everything started, so it seems correct and positive to have our own flagship here. Yep. We also, it's not just a retailer for the Sergio product, but also a place where we do experimenting, where we introduce new fragrance, where we upstairs we have my personal office where I do a little work with the perfume. So it's like a real headquarter where everything starts.
Cool. And the store's been here for 2 years?
Yes.
And you have all the exclusives from the store here?
Correct, yes.
From all the different locations. So we're in this section here. What is this section?
Yeah, well, I would call this the section dedicated to the oud.
Oud, okay.
On the top part here we have oud stars, of course, where Alessandria 1, 2, 3 and all the extension line have been part of. On the bottom part here we have also the oud stars collection, also in travel spray and body cream, hair mist. And here in this particular section we have a collection which is called XJ Oud, and a collection which is based only on oils and attars, which are, I would say, classical blends with amber, musk, rose, and of course oud. So
these are dabbers. You can't spray them.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
So do you have any exclusives here in this part of the store?
No, not at the moment. Well, Alexandria 2 has been an exclusive for many years in London, in Fortune and Mason. Now it's not anymore. So for the time being, we don't have any exclusive for the Stars collection. No.
And Alexandria 3 will go in this collection.
Correct.
Okay,
correct. Cool. Alexandria 3 was launched a few months ago in a Swarovski special edition in our boutique in Harrods. It was only 99 pieces. Now obviously sold out. So the juice, the fragrance itself, will be released in a special packaging, a special flacons, but worldwide.
Cool. So we have here the 1861 collection.
Correct. Correct. Here we have the 1861, which is so far based on 3 perfumes. I would like to remind you that 1861 is the date where our nation was founded. So on the 150th anniversary we created the first perfume, which is called Renaissance. Following that we had Zefiro and Naxos, which are dedicated to the city of Rome, and this is dedicated to the region of Sicily.
So these used to be in a different kind of bottle before, correct?
Correct.
Clear bottles.
Correct.
All right, cool.
So now we throughout all the Xerjoff collection we have the same look and feel, which is makes I would say a little bit tighter the whole collection in terms of displaying and recognizability of the brand.
Cool. So these 3 are all available everywhere, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Anything here that's exclusive?
Well, here we have exclusive for Xerjoff Universe, which is our online e-commerce. We have one exclusive of Casamorati, which is called Corallo. We have one exclusive here, which is Cavour Uno. Then we have the Coffee Break collection, which is so far is only made by 2 SKUs, by 2 perfumes, but now one of the 2 will be released on retail, and there will be a new one coming into the Xerjoff universe.
So these 4 are online exclusives,
correct,
not necessarily like boutique exclusives such as Harrods or something.
Correct,
right.
Correct.
So everyone can buy it, but they have to go to Xerjoff universe.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Here they can try it, and of course they can smell it and make up their mind.
Cool. And we have here the Casamorati Collection.
Yes, here on the left hand side we have the 100 ml and the 30 ml of all the collection. We have one exclusive, which is available in London in Harvey Nichols. It's called Italica, and it's easily recognizable because it's covered in velvet and is, I would say, the very strong vanilla gourmand creation, which is it's got its own followers.
Everything else is available everywhere?
Yes, correct. Yes, indeed.
Cool.
Indeed.
And then what do we have here?
On the right hand side, starting from the top, we have our latest release in terms of Casamorati, which is the Mephisto Gentiluomo. So I think it's a follow-up of the Mephisto.
So it's a flanker.
Perfume. It's a flanker, with a little bit more masculine, if you want, a little bit more on the grooming side. In fact, together with the release of the perfume, we had the beard oil, we have the shaving cream, and we have the deodorants, and so we have a little collection dedicated to the men's grooming.
Cool. And these are
part of the collection, and this is the toiletries collection, which is some of the perfume are taken from the original collection. We have the body cream, we have the body lotion, we have the hairspray or mist. We have the shower gels and body powder as well.
Wow,
so,
lots of different products.
Indeed. Same philosophy in terms of ingredients. Still everything is based on natural ingredients. So it took quite a while to create this collection, because obviously we had a long experience on perfumery but not on this sector. So we made our research, and 3 years ago we launched this collection dedicated to the toiletries.
Nice.
And Casamorati.
That's nice. Here we have the Join the Club section.
Correct.
And then what do we have here?
Here on the top section we have the 1717 line.
Okay.
Same here on the bottom, but we also have the Amber and Musk collection. So probably I would say here in terms of finest fragrance presentation in our collection.
So is Richwood part of this collection?
Absolutely.
And what else is another popular?
Well, we have XSY, we have Home, L, and we have some exclusive for Harrods. The same collection you can find in the Murano version as well, in attars, in oils, which are, you can see here the testers. Now the Murano collection is under reproduction in terms of design and look and feel, so it will be available in 2020.
Okay. So all the exclusives that are available at exclusive stores throughout the world are available here?
Correct.
Every single one?
Correct.
And
yes.
is it just...
Unless out of production, of course, because in terms of batch numbers or production numbers.
So where do you have exclusives in the world? Is it just in London, or?
Oh no, we have them in Russia, we have them in the Middle East.
Oh, wow.
So Xerjoff had flagship stores, were monobrand stores in Russia, in the Middle East, in Dubai. We have them in London. Soon we will open in Lisbon as well. So we tend to give an exclusive creation to these addresses, which this is very important.
Well, we can all come to Turin and get all of them here.
Yes.
That's
yes,
awesome.
Yes.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about the Join the Club collection. There are some exclusives here, I'm assuming.
Indeed, there are two exclusive. One is the 400 in top right, which is the exclusive for Selfridges. 400 is the number where you can find in Oxford Street in Selfridges stores. And next to it, the 50 ml is called Knifebridge, and this is the exclusive for Harvey Nichols.
Oh wow!
So
you have exclusives for a lot of the different stores there.
Yes. It becomes very important for the store to have their own exclusive to introduce their own clients. So it's something which the clients appreciate a lot. And well, it's good fun for us. I mean, we like to produce something which, especially for the Join the Club collection, which is aimed to research in olfactive terms either the club or the area which the stores are belonging to. It's good fun to represent with a perfume that particular situation.
Nice. And then over here, is this part of the regular collection?
Yes, well, this is Shooting Stars, which is a collection which has few exclusive around the world, and we also have an exclusive for our boutique here in Via Cavour 1, which is the address of our boutique.
I've heard a lot about this one.
So yes, this is actually the same story as that we heard before regarding 400 is here. Via Cavour number 1 is the address, and that is what we launched when we opened the boutique, and very much appreciated not only locally but internationally.
What are the notes here?
Well, we're trying to work on a kind of a smoky gourmand, something which reminds a little bit the character of the city.
Oh wow! Must get my nose on that.
Yeah, well, you're most welcome. Left and right, as you can see from the packaging, we have the Qatar exclusive, which we launched a few years ago, still going quite strong. Then we have a Fortune & Mason exclusive here. So we tend to collect all the shooting star exclusive all together, because we have customer from Italy, from Europe and the Middle East and Russia and China come and search for this creation, and we are happy to introduce it to them.
So is Neo part of this collection?
Indeed, yes.
And then what about Kobe and...
As well, that's all part of the shooting star collection.
Yes. Anything else that we should know? What are the colored bottles here?
Well, these are still from the shooting star collection. The green one, as you can see here, is actually called Emerald Star, and it's always been an exclusive for Harrods. That's because of the color. The other two are not exclusive. One is Blue Hope and Red Ova, which they've been repackaged. They're part of our collection since a few years now, and then now they're part of the same restyling, and they kept obviously the color scheme that they were introduced in the past.
And this is the Overdose?
This is the Overdose, which is the shooting star that we launched recently into the market.
And Accento will go here, Overdose? Accento Overdose?
No, Accento it belongs to the Sergio V collection that we'll see in a minute.
Okay, cool.
I think one of the latest releases is again the duo, which is called Amber and Rose, which follows the Amber and Musk collection. Same principle, mixing, having fun, mixing the amber and the rose in this case. Like before, you could mix the amber and the musk. So you create pretty much your own perfume according to your taste and feel.
Wonderful. Cool. So finally we are here, and what is this section called?
Yes, last but not least, this is Xerjoff V. So V obviously stands for velvets, which is the material which actually cover the perfumes. Important SKUs, important perfume like Accento, Erba Pura, Guardesina, and so on. Also this collection is being rebranded recently. It's got its own boutique in Harrods dedicated to this collection, so that shows that for us it's extremely important.
Wow.
And we don't have an exclusive at the moment in Italy for this collection, but we're soon we're thinking about it. Yes, absolutely.
So I think in this collection my favorite is Guardesina.
Yes.
But what are some of the other standout ones from this collection?
Well, apart from the bestseller that we mentioned before, we have Muse, which is, I think, is something which is a floral creation, which it wasn't really present in the collection before. So there's something which I'm particularly fond of. Well, Opera, a very good, I would say a bestseller in the collection. We have Overture with a grey silver finish.
Nice.
Guardesina that you know. This is an exclusive of Erba Pura. It's called Erba Gold, and it's exclusive in Selfridges.
Okay.
Launched 3 years ago. Still going very strong, very much appreciated.
This is the flanker of Erba Pura?
Correct. That's right.
And what's the difference between the two?
Well, we had a little bit of a twist on the gourmand side. So the fruit becomes a little bit more sweet.
Oh, interesting.
But I would say that it's very recognizable as in the making and the result.
Okay.
The green one, again, like with Emerald Start, is the exclusive of Harrods.
Oh wow. Okay. Awesome.
So a collection which is growing. We have few surprises in the future. We will carry on working with Swarovski finish, which appears to be very, very successful, and probably there will be also an extension line in terms of toiletries. We will see. So now that we've done the rebranding, we will carry on working and expanding this line, which proved to be extremely successful.
Cool. So where's Accento then?
It's purple one.
Oh, purple. Okay. So you went from purple to gold.
With the Accento Overdose, yes, we are working on the new production. Yes, that's the Overdose. It doesn't have the velvet finish. It actually have it's a real gold plating finish, and it's only available in 100 ml, because as you know, this collection started with 100, now also available in 50 ml.
Okay.
The Accento Overdose at the moment is only available 100 ml, and it's the formula that we actually discussed in Florence the other day,
Yeah.
which is being introduced in Harrods and now will be available worldwide.
Cool. So you have one last collection we should talk about called KEMI.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about this collection.
Well, it's little bit of KEMI is always being more on the experimental side.
Okay.
It's got a different philosophy in terms of brand conception, and which is followed by a different way of blending the raw material, the oils, and of course having a little bit a different outcome. So KEMI, of course, it comes from the alchemy, the name. So alchemy is a very complex philosophy which goes back thousands of years. This philosophy was created initially in North Africa, in the Egyptian area, then it moved to the old continent, and then it went to the Middle East, where it was an important part of history and research. And then it went back to Europe through the Renaissance, and I think is a very complex philosophy, but which embraced not only art and research, but also the study of the chemical base. So I always find this quite intriguing, and I wanted to create a dedicated collection to this philosophy, because as most of you may know, the philosophy of the alchemy is actually transformation from a natural element into another. That's what we do with perfumery. We transform the natural element, it doesn't matter if it's a flower, a gum, or a wood, or a fruit, into oil, and that means perfumery.
I see.
But again, it's not as simple as that. The way that we blend this perfume is pretty different the way that we blend the rest of the collection. So it's a different kind of philosophy which is applied into the blending. I would say that mainly the perfume are created around the Oriental olfactive direction. There are many woods and gums and resins which are blended. Wood is an important part of it. Some of the perfume are only available in 100 ml, some other only available in 50 ml on a stronger concentration, yes. So the 100 ml is of the Parfum, the 50 ml are Parfum. We have some oils as well, and we have one exclusive with the green label for Harrods, which is called Hermetic.
Where do the names come from?
Again, it comes from the history of the alchemy. So some of the names are Arabic, some of the names are taken from the Shakespeare operas, some of the names are taken from the astronomy studies. So it's a various. Every perfume has got a little story behind, which starts from the name, and you can trace it back to the history of the alchemy philosophy.
Cool.
So I would say very small in terms of production, very small in terms of distribution. Of course, here in our boutique in Turin, we have the full collection. It's presented in our boutique in Harrods as well. But then again, it doesn't have the distribution as the other Xerjoff collection. So it's something which is aimed to connoisseurs, clients which are really looking for something completely different, something which is very unusual and ready to experiment something unusual on the skin.
Cool. All right. And you said the exclusive is Hermetic.
Correct. So far we only have one exclusive.
And that's Harrods, you said?
Harrods, correct.
All right. Cool. Guys, thanks so much for watching this quick tour video with Sergio Momo of the Xerjoff flagship store here in Turin, Italy. If you guys are visiting Italy and you're nearby, it's definitely worth a visit. It's a beautiful store, and you can find, as I said, all the exclusive fragrances that you can't get anywhere else. Of course, you can get the exclusives when you're traveling to those specific cities that host those exclusive fragrances, but they're in one place here in the flagship store here in Turin, Italy. It's a great store. It's all Xerjoff. If you have any questions or comments, please do list below for me or for Sergio Momo. Other than that, please like this video, please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.
This room is where the creative process happens, not in terms of design, but in terms of blending and raw material research. And there's, behind me and around this room, there are little things which I collect during my travels from Southeast Asia and Russia and Siberia and former Russian countries. Some of my objects which I collect and restore, like 1950 Vespas and a little statue which I found in the old building of the historical center of Turin. So here we have a little showcase with some very old initial project like the 1717 quartz collection, and we have original Casamorati advertising framed. Those are over 100 years old advertising which we managed to buy from collectors around Italy. And well, this is a meeting rooms, and actually the way when it's the place where I work, and I, as I said before, start doing the blending and the early stage of the creation that will result as the perfume that you see downstairs. Again, these are some bookshelves, places where I collect a few things which inspires the stories of my creations. Of course, that is just a small part, but this is the place, this is my little hiding rooms where my important thinking in terms of creation happens. My travels takes me very often to the Southeast Asia, of course, for the wood plantation, and from Thailand and Cambodia and Laos and Vietnam. So I'm in love with this wooden statue, which are completely carved by hand, which usually stands outside in important houses or religious places. I'm in love with books as well. Everything which is handmade, like hand-binded books and printed. This is an interesting piece. This comes from North Africa, and it's something which fishermen actually. This is a piece of boat. It's a fisherman boat, and this is a kind of a full of meanings against obviously the bad luck and so on. So this is. It looks like a normal piece of wood, but it's got an interesting story.
Do you want to talk about
well, that's my travel in Russia, of course. At the very beginning of Sergio, I did a lot of travel all around the former Russia, and I always liked coming from the design business, the graphic design. I always appreciate very much the bold and striking communication style that the Soviet Union had during that period of time. So this is again something which is hand-woven, and this is a kind of original flags, which I think that nowadays they hold in their importance in these kind of collections. So I like to surround myself with nice pieces which when I can I bring back home, because obviously this is out my office. This is where everything happens in terms of creativity, but most of my time is spent around the world in terms of research, not only for raw material, but also to get to know other cultures, which are very important to fill the background, to fill my background in terms of creation. So I think that perfume can be a creative way to translate my personal experience, and which you can somehow detect through the product, from the design point of view, of course, from the perfume, from the story which is created behind. So this is just a little room which sum up a little bit of my history and research and my travels.